as far as character generation goes, I mean, next gen is a really big deal. The way that we work, the processes, and the overall quality is just a very large jump from what was previously possible.
Being next gen allows us to do lots of things to make our world seem much more believable. There were a few reasons why we decided to go next gen with Mercs. It wasn't just for cosmetic reasons. We felt like after the first game, we had really pushed the hardware as far as it can go. The real goal was to actually enhance the gameplay experience and give the player more interaction with the world around them. We're going to talk a little bit about old Matthias versus new Matthias, and what are some of the changes that we've actually made to the model to bring him to next gen quality. With the original Matthias, funny enough, we actually based him on one of the guys who used to work here, this guy Smetis. We actually took some photos and we turned him basically into a mercenary. So we added the knife and the turtleneck and the combat boots. Actually, the combat boots were really Smetis. Now if we take a step into the future, we have new Matthias. Really tried to push hard on the whole outlaw, bounty hunter kind of look. Kind of covered him in tats, given him an edge and a kind of swagger that he didn't really have in the first game.
So this was the old gen Matthias. He used about 3,000 triangles, and so, you know, we've now got more than double that in the new one. This is the new Matthias model that we've been working on, and one of the challenges of working with next-gen assets is the level of realism that we can now accomplish with characters. Before, you know, you were generally looking at characters that were maybe around, you know, 1,500 to 3,000 triangles, depending upon the type of game. And now we've suddenly, you know, exploded pretty much into a new generation, and, you know, now we're able to deal with ranges from 10,000 all the way up to 20,000 triangles for next-gen characters.
Just to give you guys a little bit of comparison between Mercenary 1 models and Mercenary 2 models, characters in Mercs 1 were between 1,000 and 3,000 triangles. Mercs 2 really pushing that to the limit, so we have our characters anywhere between 8,000 and 13,000 triangles. Actually, there's quite a fun fact, which is basically there's more geometry in Matthias's hair now than there was in one of the major city block assets in Mercs 1.
The amount of shaders and lighting that this character has, I mean, this is just in the real-time viewport, this isn't even in the game yet, and yet you can already see the huge differences in terms of like the skin shine, specular, the glasses, the way the reflections handle on it. Part of the thing that also makes it really cool is all the different shaders and the different lighting effects that we can throw at the character to make them even look amazingly detailed and much more realistic than what has been possible before. So this is an example of the shaders. You can see that it's kind of, you know, the shaders are much less realistic. It's got a lot of like kind of shiny, you know, specular map and stuff. It's not nearly as detailed. So with the next gen assets, you know, we can actually focus on skin pores and colored specular and a bunch of other things which were just impossible on Xbox and PS2. Null mapping allows us to basically create the folds on the cloth. It allows us to create a separate layer. I mean, if I was to turn this off, if you can see just, this is just the basic texture here, right? Which is just, it's called the diffuse texture, and it's just pretty much what old gen kind of stuff looked like, where you paint the stuff and that would be it. You'd be pretty much done at that point. With the next gen stuff, now you can see the difference when we add the specular and the shader and the rest of the stuff, that it really just punches everything out. Here's like some of the skin shine. You can see the way that the light is responding to the skin. You can see some of the details here on the veins. He's got some stuff here. You can see like on the leather here, the different kind of colors and stuff that we have that are able to catch stuff. So you can see like how it fades from a little bit of yellow to reddish tones and stuff. So it's not just a flat color. Same thing with like in these glasses, they have the actual real-time reflections in them now, so you can actually see, you know, like a desert terrain horizon kind of thing in the glasses. And eventually, you know, we're going to be able to have like cloth movement on the character. We're going to be able to have individual pieces like this chain. He has this kind of like chain on his pants and stuff that will be able to move, along with individual packs that he has like on his back and stuff. And in the past, it would used to be where if you had buttons or if you had small little details, you would just texture it. Now you actually have to model and make those details to really happen. It's a lot of fun actually to work, to be free to do a lot of assets like that. It's a lot more work, and it presents a whole new range of challenges.